Hi guys, this is Annie from We Love Miniatures. Today I will show you how to make miniature clay pots using cardstock. You will need a template for your pots. You can make them yourself, or you can do as I do. I use the website Template Maker, and for these pots I have used the measurements here for the big one. It's 12 millimeters in height, and for the small ones I have used the same measurements, only changed the height. I have printed my templates onto a piece of ordinary cardstock, and now I'll show you what you'll need. A pair of scissors and some glue, and I use a toothpick to apply the glue. You will also need a paintbrush and some acrylic paint of your color choice, and then you will need something to sand the pot. And finally I use some ceramic grout for tiling, making mosaic. Okay, here we go. You take your template and cut it out. And first I will show you how I shape it to make it easier to glue together. And I'll show this on a piece of foam board, but I normally do it on my leg. Take your paintbrush and roll it along your piece of cardstock. This will certainly make it a lot easier when you are gluing it together. And you apply a little bit of glue. And put it together. I use my paintbrush to press it firmly together. And this is the beginning of your clay pot, a small cone. And now I'll show you how to make the hole. I forgot to tell you that you would also need a hole puncher for the bottom hole. Take a piece of scrap cardstock. I apply the glue on the inside of the cone. When the glue has dried, you cut off the excess. And now I will show you how to make the trim. I use a piece like this. When I cut my template, I cut it like this, because if you do that you will get a piece that fits exactly to the shape of your cone. And you have your finished pot. And for the painting, I use an acrylic paint. I made my own color. You can use a terracotta color or you can use any color you want, but I like this pale brown pots. So I use this 4 colors. To get the one I prefer. And then you just paint your flower pot with a good layer of paint. I applied 2 layers of paint as a base, because every paint layer will make the cardstock more stiff, and at the end you want your clay pot to look authentic and clay-ish. Now the pot has had 2 coats of paint and dried, and it is time to make the clay look. I have taken my paint from before and added some of the tiling grout. I think a mix of 50-50, almost 50-50. You want it to be like a thick paste that you can paint on. You can even out the edges a bit with this grout paint. I apply 3 layers on both the inside and the outside to make it look more heavy. And you don't have to even it all out, because we will sand it a bit when all 3 coats has dried. The grout paint has now dried and I have sanded it a bit. And now I'll show you how to make the aging effect. A small amount of water and some of your tiling grout, and a tiny bit of white paint. This is to make like a chalky mixture to apply. you mix it well. You don't want any white paint on your clay pot. And always apply on the bottom of your pot or on the inside to see if your chalky water is good enough. Then I just randomly dab it onto the outside. And remember also to do the top edge. And just leave it to dry for a few minutes. Maybe you will like a bit of green mossy look on your clay pot. I have made a mix of green paint and, same way as before, water and some of the tiling grout. You want a very thin and watery solution. And as before, you just dab on the paint and use your finger. And that is actually how you make the flower pots. I hope you enjoyed my video, and I sure hope you will have great fun trying to do the pots yourself.